Developing Story from Neural Newscast, I'm Hannah Whitmore. It is Saturday, March 28th, 2026.
And I'm Jonah Klein.
United States Central Command confirms the number of American service members wounded in the war with Iran has now surpassed 300. This follows a significant escalation Friday at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Iranian forces launched 6 ballistic missiles and nearly 30 drones. Reports from the Associated Press indicate that at least 15 troops were injured in that specific strike. 5 are listed in serious condition. This base, located about 60 miles from Riyadh, has been a frequent target since the conflict began 1 month ago.
Beyond the human cost, the damage to tactical assets was substantial. Air and Space Forces magazine reports the strike hit multiple refueling aircraft and an E-3 Sentry surveillance plane. It highlights a persistent capability that contradicts some recent optimistic assessments. While the Pentagon says most of the 300 wounded have returned to duty, 10 remain seriously injured and 30 are still out of action. We also remember the 13 service members who have lost their lives in this first month of fighting. That includes Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, who died from injuries sustained in an earlier attack on this same base.
While the air war intensifies, the United States is significantly increasing its boots on the ground. The United States USS Tripoli arrived in the region today, carrying roughly 2,500 Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. They were pulled from exercises near Taiwan to join what is now the largest American force in the Middle East in 2 decades. That brings a total to about 50,000 troops. This deployment includes strike fighters and amphibious assault assets. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says this provides maximum optionality for the administration, even as he maintains that objectives can be met without large-scale ground combat. That optionality might be necessary given the discrepancy between official rhetoric and intelligence. President Trump stated recently that 99% of Iran's missiles have been destroyed. However, Reuters reports that intelligence officials can only confirm about a third of that arsenal is actually gone. Another third is categorized as unclear, likely hidden in hardened underground bunkers. It is a stark contrast. The United States and Israel have already burned through more than 850 Tomahawk cruise missiles. We only manufacture a few hundred of those a year. Officials are warning that stockpiles are becoming alarmingly low. This military pressure is tied directly to the economic blockade Iran has placed on the Strait of Hormuz. Fuel prices are soaring globally as oil exports remain disrupted. The president has set a firm deadline of April 6th, Jonah, for Tehran to reopen that waterway. While the president claims negotiations are going very well, the Iranian government has publicly stated they have not engaged in any talks at all. It is a high-stakes standoff where the margin for error is shrinking daily.
Analysts like James Jeffrey point out that Iran's primary goal is not necessarily a high American body count. Instead, they want to inflict enough global economic pain to break the coalition's resolve. With the United States S-Boxer also on the way and the April deadline approaching, the focus is shifting. Military planners may be drafting a final blow, possibly involving those newly arrived Marines, to end the blockade and neutralize Tehran's remaining nuclear and missile assets.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Hannah Whitmore.
And I'm Jonah Klein. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted and human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.